and get up and wander around the house. We have to account for that because nobody said that Burke was asleep. When we got home, we had to assume that Burke was asleep, right? We had to assume that Burke was just exhausted and got up and went to his bed and fell asleep. We have to assume that. The intruder, how would the intruder know that? That's what I'm saying. So I have to wait. This is a very risky job because I have to wait and I have to assume that John is going to stay asleep. This is a 4-story home. Anybody could be anywhere at any time, right? And so I have to assume that nobody's moving. And I assume that this intruder is very well aware that Patsy and John are on the third floor. All the kids would be on the second floor. And the first floor is where the kitchen is and the garage. And then we go down to the basement, right? So we're on the first floor. Yes. Hmm. I need to look at the floor plan again. Yeah. The spiral staircase went to the first floor. She found the letter on the first floor. JonBenét's is on the second floor. But the spiral staircase goes by, if I'm correct, the spiral staircase is going to go by JonBenét's room. Need to see the third floor. Because did the spiral staircase come all the way down? So if I go to the third floor, okay. So you have stairs to the second floor specifically, and then you have stairs, and then you go a little bit. Okay, so in their room, they have two ways to get down there. They have stairs to the second floor specifically, but then they have stairs that go all the way down to the first and second floors. Okay. And then that specific stair to the third floor from the second floor, and then stairs to the first and the third floor. That spiral staircase only goes to the second floor. Okay. So the spiral staircase only goes to the second floor. So Patsy had to take one of the stairs to the second floor. She would have probably taken if I'm looking at third, because it's closer, it seems closer. She would have taken the stairs to the second floor, not the stairs that go all the way down to the first, because I assumed she was going down to see the kids. So I'm going straight to the second floor, and Patsy loves to go down the back. So I would have gone down to the second. I would have gone to the second floor stairs. Those are closer, but then I would have run into the spiral staircase. But if Patsy was on the second floor, on the first floor, because the note, double check, first floor, Patsy found the ransom note by the spiral staircase of the first floor. You found the note by the spiral staircase of the first floor. That means Patsy bypassed whatever she did. She bypassed at 5:30 in the morning on the way down to get the kids. I would have thought she would have gotten up, put her clothes on, and went down to wake up the kids and say, get up, get dressed, and then go down and make breakfast. But she didn't. She went all the way downstairs is what she did. And that's what's kind of throwing me for a loop a little bit, because she went all the way downstairs to the first floor and bypassed JonBenet, bypassed Burke. Why would she do that? That doesn't make sense at all to me. And then you pick that up and you pick that up and you ran all the way back up the stairs to the third floor. Do we have an indication? Now, if so, I haven't seen this interview, or maybe if I have, I don't remember. Do we have an indication that Patsy, on the way back up, stopped by, because JonBenét's room is right off of the stairwell, right off that second, that spiral staircase stairwell. It's right there. Like, you come from the first floor to the second floor, you're looking diagonally right at JonBenét's room. So you can run and check the room real quick, being like, oh my God, and open the door. Oh my God, my daughter's gone. But she's saying, which is the indication, it seems to me, she didn't say that. Oh my God. So I ran and I checked the room and my hands were shaking. I went and checked the room. Then I ran up to go talk to John. From what I recollect, could be wrong, she ran all the way upstairs and talked to John. John got out of the shower, spread the letter out, read the whole thing, went downstairs and checked Burke's room. But they never said that they checked JonBenét's room, because they assumed that this individual had taken their daughter. I don't know, man. I just feel like, and maybe I'm misremembering. I just feel like you would have checked your daughter's room. I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm misremembering. But anyways, so bring an attaché to the bank. When you get home, you'll put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. My recollection of the bank is that the bank, if it's open the next day, it should be. Maybe it's not. Maybe the bank is like, oh, and that's what I'm saying. Yo, this has to be the perfect storm. Because if the bank is not open, this person, and that's what I'm saying, the intruder would have sat down and wrote a note that was almost airtight. You know what I mean? Like, if they planned to get JonBenet this way, knowing that they only had a window from 10:30, 11 o'clock to 5:30, and really to be safe, 4 o'clock, really to be even safer at 3. So 11 to 3, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. You only have 4 hours to get in and get this girl and come out. If JonBenet legitimately had pineapple in her stomach, she got it from somewhere. I don't give a crap what we deny. Whatever, the autopsy said she had pineapple in her stomach. So we know she ate something. And if Patsy and John are denying that they gave her a pineapple, then sometime after they went to bed, JonBenet got up. Period. If you're saying she did not eat pineapple at Fleet White and Fleet and Priscilla's house, if you're saying she didn't eat it there, she ate it somewhere, and essentially you're saying, if you're not admitting to the fact, that she didn't eat it the morning of the 25th, and then you went over to go hang out with your friends, and she didn't eat it at the night of the 25th, you put her in bed with no pineapple in her stomach, then between 11 and 4 o'clock, 11 and 3 o'clock, 11 and 4, 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., she got up and ate pineapple. The girl was asleep, and then she got up out of bed after you guys went to sleep and went downstairs. Or the intruder took her downstairs and fed her pineapple. This is what I'm saying. The intruder is very generous. for this time and doesn't feel the need. And this is what I'm saying. I'm concerned because anybody could get up. That means you either went up and woke JonBené up, or JonBené just happened to come wandering downstairs and you were like, oh, well, shoot, that's what I'm looking for. That's weird. I'll call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The banks don't typically open till 9, especially if it's a branch. Now, there was a time when I was banking with certain bank. They would stay open 24/7, but that's the branch that was in Walmart that I was banking with. They would stay open 24/7, and then they kind of sort of limited their hours to more traditional bank hours. I think closing at like 6 or 7. But the standalone branch that was right around the corner, they were typically from like 9 to 3, 9 to 4 kind of deal most days, and then 9 to 2 on Saturday or something like that. So you had to really get there. So an 8 to 10 a.m. just seems really weird to say. That sounds like somebody's sitting there and their day has already started. Like you would go to work at 8 a.m., right? That time should be shifted backwards, right? I'm going to be in the office at 8, right? That's what that is. You wouldn't be pulling money out of the bank at 8 a.m., right? We're clearly talking about the bank. That's not possible because the bank wouldn't give you the money. If you came in and said, just give me the money I needed, and they would say, fill it out. We have to because the bank has the market. And if the bank is not going to market, you have to tell the bank why you can't market, because the bank under procedure, I have to mark this money. I can't just not mark this money because you're like, oh yeah, by the way, don't mark it. You know what I mean? Like that's an option. No, I got to mark this money unless I tell you, please don't mark the money. My daughter is, she's been kidnapped. We can't mark the money. That's what I'm saying. It's too fishy because they got to let somebody know. So who would write, be like, and don't you let anybody know, knowing that they would have to mark the money. I advise you to be rested. It is not your concern for John to be rested. John is going to be good. Why does John need to be rested? John is, I'm good. My daughter's gone. I need to get back my daughter. I'm going to do everything that I need to do to get my daughter. Don't worry about me getting rested. The delivery will be exhausting. Are they going to go through some sort of obstacle course? Probably not. You're not too far away. You're close. That's what I'm saying. This is unnecessary language. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of your daughter of the money, and hence earlier pickup of your daughter. John has read this 3-page letter. She is safe and unharmed. Okay, my fight or flight is coming down. My adrenaline is coming down. An earlier pickup of your daughter. That's 2 assurances that you will get your daughter back. That's the second assurance. You'll get your daughter back and she'll be fine. Any deviation of my instructions, okay, still staying with the first person, my instructions will result in immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The intruder who wrote this and took the time to intelligently plan out this kidnapping would not go through all the trouble. This is what I struggle with when I talk about intruders. They would not go through the trouble to write this and leave that girl in the house. It would not happen. If I get there to the point where I have JonBené in my hands, you think that I would fumble the bag and not be able to get her out of the house? I've done all of my homework enough to be able to figure out, you see what I'm saying? Enough to be able to figure out how to get in and maneuver and navigate around you guys, to be able to hear what you're saying and to be able to, understand when I need to attack or execute and then get out. And I'm thwarted by a window that's too small. You know what I mean? What? And then they just leave the body in the house? That's not going to happen. If somebody was that obsessed with JonBenet and they wanted to keep JonBenet with them, they would have taken great measures to take JonBenet out of the house to continue to have JonBenet. That's my struggle. If I'm setting all of this stuff up to have JonBenet with me, I'm doing everything I can to keep her with me. Any deviation of my